It's not a failure on them, it's a failure on your leadership to plan. So, and by the way, if you're in a leadership position and you're gonna comment on this video on social media saying so you should take initiative, no, you failed, right? Your job is to plan. I'm gonna do another video on that too, so don't worry about it. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Alex from Part-Time First Sergeant. Got my hair did, and this is another 2-minute drill. This video is more geared towards soldiers that are considering or are just coming out of active duty and need to fulfill additional obligation in the reserves or National Guard, but also want to continue service from active duty and decided to join the National Guard and Reserves. I'm gonna do a full video on this, but I wanted to do a quick 2-minute drill on this because this is important, and this is something that I notice comes up a lot. Right now I have 4 soldiers that have come out of active duty within the past 3 years and joined the National Guard. One of the things that most National Guard soldiers don't realize is the difference in lifestyle, and then the reliance in the structure of soldiers on active duty versus when they're let out on their own in a National Guard, right? So on active duty, Monday through Friday, you have a job, right? You go in, you do your PT, whatever it is for the day, you clean up, and then everything's kind of handled within your duty hours. So like your healthcare, your finances, your records, everything's kind of done in that environment. The discipline, the time, the accountability, everything in your military career is kind of done right there in your duty hours. Versus the National Guard, Monday through Friday, there's nobody there to assist you with your healthcare because nobody's going through what you're going through. It's different. Financial issues, that's on you, bro. Like, you go homeless, the National Guard will try to help you with whatever resources they have, and it's different from state to state, it's different from unit to unit, but it's very limited, right? Because your first sergeant, your commander, your platoon sergeant, your platoon leader, or whoever your NCO support channel, the folks that normally would assist you, they all have full-time jobs, they all have families that have nothing to do with the military. And they can't just go there at 3 o'clock in the morning, not all cases, but usual case, it's uncommon that 3 o'clock or at noon they can go to your house and figure something out, try to help you out, or you know what I mean? Like, at best, the AGR can try to help you out with it. But some of the questions they may not be able to answer, some of the resources they may not have for you, right? So that's one thing that National Guard soldiers don't realize about active duty people. So there's that level of insensitivity, right, of understanding. And also there's that lack of understanding from the active duty folks coming into the Guard, not realizing that community is slightly different. Those resources may not necessarily be there, and now they're grown-ups. They have to do things on their own and go through things that may not be the same as other people around them. It may be a little bit different. So that's one. Number 2 is the structure, the workflow, and the amount of work that needs to be done as a National Guard soldier. That's much condensed and compressed, and a lot of work needs to be done if you're in a leadership position. Some work needs to be done during the week when you have a civilian job, when you have your family. Off duty hours, right? Because duty hours is a week in a month, 2 weeks a year. You have motor pool Mondays, you have this on Tuesdays, you have this on Wednesdays, like every day is structured. And for us, it's motor pool, maintenance, sergeant's time, it's training plan, recon, it's resourcing, it's rehearsals, it's all Saturday. And then Sunday, you have cleanup, you have turn-in, PMCS, like all this that normally you have a month to do, you got 2 days to do it in the Guard, right? And it's frustrating. So you get to the Guard, instead of doing training, your PMCS, which is training as well, doing some admin stuff, some control stuff, or you're going out to the field with very little rehearsal, or you spend a lot of your Friday on a MUTA 6 convoying, and then you train for a day and you convoying back the next day, and that frustration of like, when are we actually going to get to do collective training? When are we actually going to do something more than IWQ, more than just convoy, more than the basic stuff, and actually get to the next level and check the box on the tables, right? Because every MOS, different tables that you're tested on, that you checked on, that you're proficient on. Where is that? How often does that happen? Maybe at annual training, and I can tell because of how soldiers complain online about how much their drill weekend sucks, right? It's not a failure on them, it's a failure on their leadership to plan. So, and by the way, if you're in a leadership position and you're gonna comment on this video on social media saying so you should take initiative, no, you failed, right? Your job is to plan. I'm gonna do another video on that too, so don't worry about it. More of the story. Get to the bottom line up front. Well, bottom line at the end. First, if you're in a leadership position and you have a soldier coming from active duty, pay very, very careful attention and give individualized attention to that soldier. Give your first sergeant a warning. He should already know this is coming, but give him a heads up. Like, by the way, the new soldier from active duty is here. Make sure he's aware of that, and then have that conversation with him. Like, listen, be patient with your transition. I'm not asking you, and this is what I tell my guys coming out of active duty, I'm not asking you to dumb yourself down to any kind of mythical National Guard standard. What I'm asking you is bring the soldiers that are not there up to your level, right? But be patient. There is no National Guard standard. Even the National Guard regulation, they're all based off of Army regulation. They just modified to fit laws that applies to states and them-day soldiers. But the standards are the same. Now, for the soldiers, you that are coming out of active duty, be patient. Learn the systems. Bring people to your level. Don't sink down to their level. All right? Because like I just said, there's only one Army. There's no special National Guard standard. We may plan slightly different because of time restrictions. We may execute slightly different because of time restrictions. But there's only one standard, right? The tables are the same. The requirements are the same. Get the lady. Really? All the stuff that you learn on active duty, bring that stuff with you and find a way to modify how you execute it so it fits within the restrictions that you are given being a member of the National Guard. Don't dumb yourself down to them. Don't give up, but don't get angry. Be resourceful, right? If you're an NCO especially, be resourceful. And also remember that your development, your rapid, cumulative, progressive development will slow down significantly because you may not get the same level of mentorship that takes you to the next level like you did on active duty. So you may be stuck at that skill level 2 or skill level 3 that you brought on active duty with you. But a way to combat that is, continue maintaining communication with the soldiers or the NCOs that you had on active duty, and especially in your MOS, as they progress, it may not be as much of a quality, mentorship that you'll get, but make every effort to continue getting mentorship from them. Continue maintaining that contact. Find out what's new, because the Guard may not find out until a new private comes out of basic training and brings that new stuff to you. Maintain proficiency in your MOS. Maintain proficiency in regulations. You can search them the same way you would on active duty. Volunteer for as many military schools as humanly possible, and that's how you're going to develop. Go to NCOES quickly as possible. Do all your online training. Maintain that proficiency so you don't lose it. You may not progress at the same rate you were as far as knowledge base and proficiency as you were on active duty, but you can continue going forward beyond the skill level that you had when you left active duty. And be patient, right? Be patient. Understand the system, work within it, and bring everyone up to your level. I remember one of my first units, 2 soldiers came out of active duty before, when I first got there, and then like a year or 2 later after they joined, like the after. Like, we were a different unit. We were already pretty high speed. The new guys came in from active duty and they just just elevated the game. And you can be that guy. Odds are you know more than them because you've experienced more than them. I'll do a full video on this to compare the transition, the top 5 things I think you need to look out for, and I'll make it more structured with like a list like that. But for now, just keep those things in mind. Continue fighting the fight. Don't give up too quickly. Work through it. The process will be much slower to make things happen. So like what you can get done in a week or a month on active duty, it may take a year for you to get it to happen on National Guard. But continue pushing forward. You are changing people's lives. I remember those 2 guys from 16 years ago. I remember them, and I remember what they did in the civilian side. I never hung out with them in private. I've never been to their homes, but my experience with them on the National Guard during drill weekends, I will never forget. Like, it was an impressionable time in my career in the National Guard, was those two guys and how they changed. Good luck to you if you're just coming out on active duty or considering coming out of active duty. You know, welcome to the family if you're just coming on. And if you've been on for a while and you're thinking about giving up on this transition and just kind of ETS out, you know, hang in there, give it another shot, consider what I'm saying. I'll make another video for you to give you a little bit motivation for you to keep pushing forward and keeping impacting the National Guard in a positive way. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm urging you to be part of that effort with me and stay on and transition the National Guard into a better place. Thank you very much. It's been another 2-minute drill. Check me out on social at Part-Time First Sergeant with the hashtag Drill Weekend. Also check out my other videos on promotion, retirement in the National Guard. Thank you very much, and let's continue this conversation. Peace.